Welcome back, everyone. It's been a little bit since we've been back on the Gregtech grind, but hopefully today is the final episode of Star Technology. We are about to be able to touch some real grass soon. Quickly refreshing myself with the world has yielded that the fact that I am absolutely so goddamn close to being able to finish this. All that's left is some recipes, some time. Little did he know that some time would mean over 9 days. And my sanity. But that's normal. If we check the quest page, there's only a few things to go. We need to set up the runic plates, the Stargate rod assemblies, and then the actual components. Oh god. That's a lot of UHP ICs. So, why don't we just get into this? Let's finish Star Technology. So let's just start with a recipe blitz and see how many recipes we're going to need to craft. Right, that took a while, but let's put all those in and just see where the missing links lie. Well, let's just try and make different sorts of parts and see what goes wrong. So let's try and make the runic engraved plating. I know this is going to take... Wow, that's impressive. We're actually missing all of the ingredients for it. So clearly we missed some. We need to make our dense naquadah plates. Or enriched naquadah it is. Also a block of nickel may be prudent. Probably also means we're missing our dense naquadah plate. So maybe we set that up as well. That would be prudent. So put those recipes in. Alrighty, now let's try to make runic engraved plating. Yeah, not too bad there. Let's also try to make a set of the runic pathway engraved plating. And I don't think we're going to be running out of pentlandite to smelt into nickel. So those take 10,000 per 4 of those, and we have 20 million. Yeah, we can make 10,000 plates, so I'm not worried in the slightest. What I will be worried about is how fast our smelter is going. I want to know how fast it's running. Yeah, I don't think the multi-smelter can have a parallel hatch, so let's just see how fast it's going on the output bus. Oh, that's depressing. That is actually so miserably slow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm reckoning a UV bloody multi-smelter is going to be... Well, let's just upgrade its voltage and see what we can do. Righty, well now it says 13 ticks, which makes me a little bit worried. But maybe it's running more recipes in parallel. It's doing 13. How does this work? Someone's got to tell me exactly how parallelization with this multi-smelter works, because this is just bad. Like, I guess I could maybe set up some titanium coils. That actually looks free. Maybe I'll just set some titanium coils up and see if that makes it any better. Because this is pretty depressing, I won't lie. Well, I never thought I'd say this, but welcome back to Create, providing a better smelter than the Gregtech multi-smelter. This ingenious setup of blowing hot sticky magma all over yummy dusts is able to smelt 1,000 in about 10 seconds, which is much better than the alternative. Which means now the slowdown can go straight onto the runic circuitry assembler, taking 400 seconds. Just under 7 minutes to craft 4 plates. Wonderful, this isn't going to take ages at all. And after a little bit of waiting, we've got our runic circuits. Fantastic. Getting much closer. And I've added walls. They're a bit boring, but, you know, walls are walls. So, let's figure out what the next big step is. Let's see if we can make a void ingot. Looks like it, we'll just see. Yeah, so fluid solidifying, 75 seconds. I know the fluid extracting of echo fluid is 150 seconds to make one. So we're currently looking at 150 seconds to make a raw void ingot. And then the heat chamber running at UHV 100 seconds, so still under 150. Freezing, definitely fine. And then long rotting, only, yeah, alright, perfect. So it's about 150 seconds per void ingot. If only there was a way to summarize all of this nice and easily, but that's okay. Let's just monitor the progress. So we go from our fluid solidifier to the heat chamber. 13 seconds, that's kind of awesome. And it froze so fast I couldn't even get to it in time. Well, there's the void ingot. Very nice. Alrighty, this is where it starts to get a bit complicated. Can we actually make a Stargate rod? Now, I suppose I should explain why I think it's complicated. I'm not sure. I don't think this needs to be the exact pattern. But if this does need to be an exact pattern, then that really sucks. Hopefully not. Hopefully I can just put them all into the machine and it'll be fine. Otherwise, we'll have to figure out a way to ordered craft this thing. Alrighty, crude Stargate rod. Here we go. Okay. This doesn't look too bad at the moment. I think the longest process is going to be the extraction of liquid naquadah, which is currently running at UV, so 16 ticks. Yeah, not too terrible, but not great either. And now the mixer is activated for our weapon grade naquadah. 60 seconds to make 30 dust. That's actually pretty decent. Well, there is the crude Stargate rod, which is very cool. One more step. I suppose maybe we just put it through the heater, right? I think that's how that works. That is how it works. Very cool. All right. So there's the Stargate rod. And now the final set of crafts. The one that will determine how long this episode is actually going to be. So we need to make the basic interface, the classic DHD, 9 chevrons, and 14 normal blocks. And just to show you how expensive some of this stuff is, the classic DHD is actually the cheapest. The Stargate controllers take 56 of those rods. Sorry, the chevron blocks take 56 of the rods, 56 buckets of naquadah, and the rest isn't actually that bad. We also need to make the base block, which needs 4 computational supermatrix, which take 112 UHV circuits each. But there really is no time like the present. So how about we just start crafting some of these things? So let's make the classic DHD. 4 billion years later, I reckon. The basic interface. All right, let's see. Can we craft the Stargate base block? Okay, apparently we're just missing... Oh, right there. Oh my god. 8,000... Oh my gosh. We need 7,200 more europium. Yeah, I can just turn the limiter off on that one. And sulfuric acid. And titanium. Alright, let's go solve our buffering issues with some of those things, and maybe craft that later. So I do believe that one of these is the limiter for sulfuric acid. Let's just see. Here we go. So, 3,000 buckets of sulfuric acid. We're consuming it so fast that this interface can't even provide enough. Let's make it do more, I guess. There we go. Let's check sulfuric acid. Yep, there it goes. Very nice. Now, we have our cupric chloride solution here, which is also limited to 3,000 buckets. And I think we should just give it the full tank, give it 8,000 buckets. It takes a little bit of time. We probably could speed this system up a little bit, but really, it's passive, so we'll just leave it be for now. Now, Petri dishes are interesting. We just have to increase our drawer capacity here. And it's locked, so we can just take that out, and we can store 1,000 Petri dishes. Who cares? It's PBI. It's cheap as this point. Now, we need to increase the storage on both of these, tritanium and europium. We don't have as much tritanium as I would have liked, but we have a ton of europium. And we need 8,000, I believe. So let's just put in an upgrade. That's going to allow us to have 8,200. So that will be plenty. And what else was for the Stargate controller? I think that was all we were limited on. Europium is being backed up. Cupric chloride is being backed up now as well. And tritanium as well. Very good. I don't know if we have CPUs big enough for it. Oh, no, we do. Alrighty. So, 9 chevron blocks. How's that gonna go? Oh my god. How is 3,000 buckets of neutronium not enough? 9 chevron blocks is gonna take... Oh, crap. This is gonna take way longer than I thought. 31,000 weapons grade naquadah. Oh no. How quickly does it smelt? It takes 200 seconds to smelt it. Oh my god. I'm lost. I'm actually completely lost on how I'm gonna do this now. This is gonna take so long. That's just the chevrons. We need to make the regulars as well, which is 14 of them. Which we don't even have enough naquadah for. And we need 5,000 buckets of neutronium. Oh dear god. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to work then. Right. Okay. Well, let's put together a shopping list. Right. Well, I'm going to put together a shopping list, find the things that are going to take the most amount of time to do, and see where we can optimize. And then we're just going to start crafting as much as we can.
8 hours later.
Okay. So the shopping list has been put together. And this list doesn't fill me with confidence. We need to expand our production a lot, which is just something that will be done in the background. So, weapons grade naquadah is going to take, at its current rate of 17 items every 201 seconds, is going to take 12.6 days of constant crafting. Now, I don't know about you, not really interested in that. Currently, our naquadah will take around 0.3 days. So about 9 hours. Not too bad. I can do that. That's easy. And neutronium, at its current rate, if we produce 3.2 per second, is going to take around 9 days. So, what I'm thinking is that we need to spam out EBFs and crank as much weapons grade naquadah as we can. Which I'm now realizing, oh no, it's weapons grade naquadah, not naquadah. Thank goodness for that. It just takes liquid naquadah, actually. Oh my god. I haven't even accounted for that. But that's fine. Naquadah is actually the quickest one to make. So, I'm fine with that. Naquadah is not going to be the biggest issue. It's going to be the smelting of the weapons grade naquadah. And neutronium, which we'll deal with later. But let's actually restart our blast furnaces. And just check. So it's 201 seconds at UV. If we overclock everything, oh my god, to UHV, it's going to take 100 seconds per ingot. And with our old blast furnace setup, that was 8 by 100. So let's just see what that calculation does. So if we can add our 17 every 200 seconds, which is 5 every minute, and then we can take 8 over 100.5 seconds, and that will get us another 4.7 per minute, which is a total rate of almost 10. Almost 10. Thank goodness for that. We need 96,000, and with 10, it's going to take 9,400 minutes, which is 156 hours, which is now down to 6 days. I really don't like that. Right, well, I think what we need to do now is just make as many blast furnaces as we can. Just a wall of blast furnaces, because we have 8 here. We've got doing 17 there. I guess, what coils do we have on this? These are the titanium coils. Yikes. Maybe we could upgrade the hatches. We've only got UHV hatches in there. Maybe we could do 4 amp UHV hatches, because that's the most we can put in, right? 4 amp energy hatches. Oh, that's easy. Let's do that. Alrighty. Let's make these into 4 amp UHV hatches. Cool. There's the first one, and there's the second one. These aren't as expensive as I thought they were going to be, but they're still just power hungry. Done. Alright, let's see what that does for our smelting times. 17 seconds. Alright, that's massive. Let's remove our hot weapons grade naquadah and see how quickly it smelts it. So 17 seconds to get us. We'll just wait for it to appear. That is not... There we go. Right, it's going to take another 200 seconds. Hopefully that actually cooks more than 17, but I guess we'll see. Actually, while we're waiting, I just realized that our Fusion Reactor Mark III is running at UV and doing these every 5 seconds. Yes, because I put UV hatches, so I guess it's overclocked. That's nice. So we need to actually double our rate in our calculations. Okay, so that means that neutronium is only going to take 4.5 days to accumulate. That's assuming that we have 0 neutronium right now, though, which we have 3 million. And it's actually only going to take 134 hours, which is 2.2 days. I hope our americium rate is actually keeping up. We're at 615,656. It's not keeping up. Right, so let's just backtrack a little bit. Americium is chromium and lutetium, and it's being made every 2 seconds. Oh, okay, I don't think we have enough americium production rate for this. We're not struggling with chromium. Oh, we are, apparently. It's interesting. Why? Huh. That would be why. We're not smelting any chromium. Because of all of our weapons grade naquadah, I would believe. Yep, there we are. Oh, we never checked how much it was. Ugh. Oh, it's 17 again. Okay, so upgrading the power changed nothing. So, that's whatever. And we can't make UAV energy hatches. I don't think that's actually in the game yet. So let's just see. Yeah. No recipe for any of these. Wonderful. Alright, so that's going to continue on at that, which means 12 days with this current setup. I think we do need to make a big blast furnace hall. And it only cooks with nitrogen, so okay, perfect. That's really easy to handle. Okay, so what I've decided to do... Oh my god. That was lucky timing. We've crafted our first Stargate component. Anyway, what we've decided to do now is we're going to increase our rate of weapons grade naquadah. I'm going to make 4 quad blast furnaces. So 4 quad blast furnaces is going to make an extra 9.5 per minute, which itself will take 6.7 days to make. And then if we plus on our original rate of 5 with our big blast furnace, it will take 4 and a bit days, reducing it below the neutronium rate, which is fine. So 4 quad blast furnaces. How many coils is that? We need 168 coils. Weapons grade naquadah only needs the tritanium coils, which is nice, but we can reduce its power consumption. Oh no, tritanium. It needs the tritanium coils, which means we are going to have to probably increase our rate of tritanium. Let's just see, we have 8. So we can do 168 minus 4. 168. No, it's just 160. So we can make 168 coils, right? That takes 1,200. All right. And we still have 5,800 titanium. So great. Cool. That's going to be fine to make that. Let's set this up. Weapons grade naquadah needs to be made at UV. We'll make it at UHV for 100 seconds. So we are going to need... So we're going to need 16 UHV energy hatches, which we can craft. Doesn't look like anything there is going to really hamper our ability to make the next crafts, so that's fine. We'll make another 8 blast... That's 6. We'll make another 8 blast furnace controllers. We'll get the rest of it, but what we'll do is we'll just recycle all of this. And we can put all that away. We don't need LUV energy hatches. Right. That's all the circuits that we need to be able to craft, so... We'll probably have to remake another blast furnace just for the circuit wafers, which I haven't even thought about. Oh my gosh. Oh no, they get made over in the big one. What am I thinking about? Alrighty, so in the blink of an eye, you're going to see 16 more blast furnaces here. I hope you're ready. And there we have it. Our stack of blast furnaces has been created. Its only purpose is to cook up weapons grade naquadah, officially making our time to completion on 92,000 weapons grade naquadah at 4.3 full days of smelting. Also assuming that our rotary hearth forge is running at 100% as well. And I'm just telling you right now that that is putting a lot of stress on the base's power. We're using around 200 million FE per tick just on the smelting alone. So yeah, lots of waiting to do. You don't want to know how long it's been, but we have our basic interface and our classic DHD. We're currently working on some nickel singularities, and we can finally press request on the base block, which is probably the most expensive one. It takes 896 UHV circuits, or it could be half that. It takes 448 ultra high voltage circuits, 48 Stargate rods, fair amount of stuff. But there's only one time to press start, and that's now. So, I'll see you in a bit. So, I'm a little ashamed to admit at how long of a time jump there has been between the previous clip and this one. Originally, I wanted to have this cool idea where each day I'd kind of go to sleep and there'd be a little flashback to a good moment of this series, but there's so much footage and there's just so many things that I'd want to include that the video would end up being, you know, an hour long of all the highlights of building our upgraded power system, of our big oil distillation, of our big wood tar distillation to get us all of the natural products, the really janky looking platinum line, original ore processing, and so on and so forth. But it's time now to actually start the final crafting. So right now, we actually have the Stargate base. It took a while. The classic DHD and the basic interface. Now there's just a few more to go, and that will be our chevron blocks and our ring blocks. And the chevron blocks, we are going to need 9. And let's just double check that before we do anything. We do. We need 9 classic Stargate chevron blocks. So we'll get 9. We'll queue that up. See, that doesn't look like much. It seems pretty easy. Until you see the 500 Stargate rods. But, you know, that's fine. Let's just throw that in. Replan as usual. Replan again, because that's just how this game works. And we'll let that kind of start its thing until it gets on to making the Stargate rods. Well, yeah, the 128k foil is going to be lots, and that's fine. And we'll also queue up the 14 classic Stargate rings. Oh, for crying out loud. God damn. Oh, no. And the 14 classic ring blocks. It looks like we're going to need to do a little bit more waiting around for things to happen in the base, but that's okay. We can wait for these to be done. While this is going to be crafting up its horrifically long crafting time, we'll be able to see and get the rest of the materials for the ring blocks, but that's okay. So I'll see you again in a little bit. And even more time later, we can now actually request our 14 classic Stargate rings. Just checked again, make sure it's 14. And oh my gosh, I thought we had enough. Well, I guess we'll wait just a little bit longer then. Right, so on our quest to finally finish this pack, we've been having actually a really insane amount of issues, and I thought this was going to be resolved so that I could just get the final crafts on the way, but it doesn't appear to be. We're actually not gaining any naquadah, and in fact losing it at a really high rate for no reason at all. Well, we have been losing it. We've lost about 70 since I started checking. So I can take out stacks of naquadah, and we can see that it has now gone down. But if I put it back into the storage, it didn't actually go back up. And here's another stack in. It's not increasing our amount of naquadah in storage. It's not being used by anything else. It's just continually consuming it without increasing it. And the only way I've found to actually remedy this is to restart, which is starting to really get on my nerves with how many times I've had to restart. So I'm getting quite thankful that we're almost finished here. So we can't make 14. Can we make 13? We can make 13 classic Stargate rings. So let's just put that through the crafting now. And now we're going up in naquadah. That's very confusing. I've got no idea what's going on, but I'll see you in another like 17 days when these crafts are finally finished and we can finally get off this rock. Well, it's not really a rock, is it? Or is it? I suppose it's rock. I have managed to make it out of only rock, so sure, we can say getting off this floating rock. And while all of that is crafting in the background, I thought I'd take you to a backup that I actually had to load away from. This was on the original world that we were playing on, which has all of our statistics still in check. Or not, actually. That's unfortunate. It seems that everything about this has been wiped. Well, that's a bummer, but anyway, this is what happened. I was playing. Everything was working. My computer crashed. I then load back up, and my session file is gone. Which means all of my customization and sort of like individual stuff around the base has been lost, including all of my networks. So I had to move away from this space because everything is now unpowered. This battery will just have whatever it has in it. And yeah, that's basically it. There's nothing else. So all the ME network is down, and yeah, just every single flux plug just decided at the same time, I'm finished. I think I'll be done. So yeah, that's what happened to the original fork here and why we had to load it back up and have lost all of our statistics on time played, which I'm going to just have to estimate something while we wait and craft. So after the little cut, I'll be back with some math to tell you. Okay, so I've actually realized there's been some big mistakes being made here. We need 1400 Stargate rods. And apparently we're 47,000 weapons grade naquadah short, which doesn't make any sense because we started with 90,000 and I cancelled both crafts just after pressing the record. And it just like doesn't make any sense. Do we just void 50,000 weapons grade naquadah? Like, it's gone. Like, it's not stored anywhere. It's just gone. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to try and figure that out. And yeah, I guess we'll just cut to the maths explanation, and the next time you see live me is going to be when we have all of the products. So yeah, I'll see you then. Alrighty, so time for a little bit of mathematics around the series. So estimating playtime, because we did lose our statistics, we have around 1,100 hours played on these saves over the course of 23 episodes, which means roughly 47 hours per episode. Doesn't sound like too much until you realize that some of those episodes were coming out weekly, which means if that was the average for each episode, if it really did take 47 hours per episode, which it did not, that's more than a full-time job over a week. God, it's lucky I love Gregtech, right? Next up, I wanted to tell you the energy cost of running my computer for that long, not including anything else and not including the daily charge that power providers in Australia require to keep you connected to the electricity. We used $264 worth of power. Over the course of that time, we also emitted 483 kilograms of carbon dioxide. That is the real pollution of Gregtech. Not those little fake smog particles, but 500 kilos of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere just from electricity. Now, over 1,100 hours, if we were making the minimum wage where I live in Australia, which is $24.10 per hour, we would have made $26,500. Ridiculous. It has also been around 288 days since I posted the first episode of the series. The current date is the 2nd of March, 2025, and the original published date of the first episode was the 18th of May, 2024. That means that, roughly speaking, I've played around 4 hours of Gregtech a day for almost a year. Which again, I haven't, but that's just putting it into perspective. Now, for some of the YouTube statistics here, which if you don't like hearing about money or sort of ad revenue, then you can tune out and come back in afterwards. So, over the course of this series, we have managed a pretty astounding 292,000 views. That is over every single episode so far, so not including the one that you're listening to right now, which is incredible. That is a lot of views, and 81,000 of those come from the first episode. Again, an absurd amount. And thank you all for the support that you've given to this series. It is probably the only reason I've stuck with it, because the amount of glitches and everything that I've had to go through, yeah, it was tough. But I've enjoyed reading the comments every single time I upload one of these, so thank you again. And now for some decently exciting news. So, over the course of this final episode being filmed, I have been working to create a Discord channel. I know it's pretty cliche for YouTubers to have a Discord channel, but if you want to be part of my community, be a bit more interactive and sort of keep up to date with news and polls and all that jazz, forming a community around Gregtech lovers and just lovers of whatever I post out in general, then the Discord link will go live in a community post just after this episode has aired. In addition to that, I have decided that if you wanted to support me and in achieving sort of my dream of doing this full time to provide you guys with as much content as possible, then I am opening up channel memberships as soon as this video goes live. Now, what you're going to get in those channel memberships is going to be a YouTube badge, just to show that you are a coffee hater like me and support my stuff. You'll get early access to the videos. So what I normally do for my uploading schedule is I will post a video whenever it is made, but schedule it to go live in my local time, Saturday at 3 a.m., I believe. Now, if you become a YouTube member, you will get access to that video as soon as it is posted, whether that's a few hours or in some cases it has been a week before, just depending on what my work schedule is like. You'll also receive a shout out at the end of the video, so at the start that will be your name and me reading it out, and that may change in future, but for now that's exactly what I'm going to promise. I will read out the names as best I can. You'll also get priority comments. So the way I'm told that this is going to work is that I will receive a special notification and your comment will come up on the first in the community tab of my YouTube studio, and which I will respond to as soon as possible. So if you want priority comments or pinned comments, then please do sign up for memberships. And you'll also receive a Discord title and a cool color. So if that all sounds interesting to you, then it's just $5.99 a month, and that really goes a long way. Thank you, Llama. And that really goes a long way to supporting the channel and what I do. Every dollar counts. It might not be much to you, but it goes into being able to, make higher quality stuff. Because that's really what I want to do, is provide you with the highest quality gaming content I possibly can. So with that all being said, let's get back into our crafting and come back to our finished Stargate. Alrighty, it's time. So we have all of the components ready. And let's just craft it, because I actually have no idea how this is going to work. So I'm pretty sure we place our Stargate ring at the bottom. There's 9 chevrons, so I imagine it's going to be something like this. No, that doesn't look right at all, does it? I actually have no idea how I'm supposed to do this. Let's maybe figure it out before we place everything down, right? Let's have a look on the internet and see how we can do it. Okay, so figured it out. So it looks something like this. That's not. Oh no, that's right. That's right. Like that. Done. 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 Why do I have 2 spare? Oh, okay. All right. I see. I see. It's like that, and then that on there. Done. 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 Alrighty, last block. Done. So that's what it looks like. And then what do we just have? That and that. Oh. Okay. That's worked. That is exciting. Now I suppose all we need to do is power it up, right? So let's grab a... Where are they? They're the flux points. We'll just connect it to the base. There we go. And then, awesome, right. So there are the coordinates. Let's, I'm hoping this is linked. I actually have no idea how you're supposed to link these, but let's just punch in those coordinates. So 26, 6, 14, 31, 11, 29, done. Okay. Not enough power. I couldn't tell you how this is supposed to work. Well, give me a sec and I'll see if I can actually turn it on. Well, welcome to the world's most unsatisfying ending of this pack. Unfortunately, in the version that I'm playing, which is 1.19.2, I've had the version of the pack in the description for a while. Yeah, the Stargate doesn't work. Checked out some other sort of guides on that. Yeah, so doesn't seem to be working, which is truly a sad send-off. But I mean, we got it. That was the hardest part. Going through it didn't really ever matter, did it? So I guess the true Stargate was the friends we made along the way. But yeah, wow. Thank you so much all for coming along for this absolutely wild ride. It's been almost 300 days in the making to get this. I know I've been a bit slack, but thank you all for checking it out. I'll be uploading the save file of the world to the Discord when that goes live, so check out for that if you wanted to have a little tour of the base. But otherwise, just once again, thank you so much for coming along. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye-bye.